Jones trying to hold on to the football and then trying to throw it. Does it get ripped from the back? It does, and that's Robert Quinn, their new acquisition. Picked him up from Dallas. He did not play in the season. Detroit already paying dividends here in the early going. Knocking it free from the out of him. Instead, an interception results on the first ball thrown to him today.
No separation for these receivers all day for New York.
With his movement and then in the pocket and out. Second part, he trusts the rookie downfield from Tulane. That could essentially have been a 50-50 ball. They trusted the rookie to see him and come back and make a play on the football ahead of Corey Ballantyne. That's exactly how it turned out.
He beats the young corner Ballantyne, Division II product from Washburn. Cairo Santos is on for the extra point. And that's the point with Trubisky. Is it the prettiest ball?
No.
No. Did it get there?
Yes. Look, if it's going to get there for a touchdown, you can throw it in.
But New York comes up short. Tate with a clear push-off.
Very physical route. And then over the top, Eddie Jackson ensured it. To the bottom left of your screen, this is where it's going to happen. And that's where screen goes down, number 24, off of the push by Tate. Jackson comes in as the second defender. Tate wants interference on Jackson, but the interference had already occurred when Golden Tate pushed off on Eddie Jackson.
The Chicago Bears 2-0 for the first time since 2013. Bears win it. For Charles Davis, Evan Washburn, and the rest of our CBS crew, Ian Eagle saying so long from Chicago. We send it to James Brown in New York. NFL Today update delivered by Pizza.
What's going on, people? This is John of Pippany with another sports reaction talking about our Chicago Bears and hot fucking dog. They just barely got the win. Somehow they was able to hold on. Defense got tired in the second half because the offense just kept turning the ball over with those 2 interceptions by Mitchell Trubisky. He played well in the first half, but he struggled in the second and allowed this team just to somehow just come back with the defense giving up 13 points. Yeah, they only gave up 13, but the Bears didn't score no points in the second half. They did look excellent in the first half, which I'm very happy. Get to the Bears, the first thing we're going to break down is the team they played, and that's the New York Giants. Daniel Jones, he was running for his life, but yeah, he did complete 25 of 40 for 241 yards. He did throw that costly pick, no touchdowns. He basically still ran for his life like he did today. Unfortunately, Saquon Barkley got hurt. It's fear it's a torn ACL. When I looked at the replay, it looked like it was a torn ACL. Before he left, he was four carries for 28 yards. He did just break that huge 18-yard run on the Bears. And it looked like he was finna get it going before he just tore up his knee after a 6-yard run. Eddie Jackson finished off the tackle. Then after that, you had Dion Lewis, who really didn't do much, 10 carries for 20 yards, but he did power it in for the short yardage touchdown. Then you had Ingram, the tight end, who had six receptions for 65 yards. Then you had the receiver Golden Tate, 5 receptions for 47 yards. Defense, they definitely came to play in this game. Blake Martinez, 8 tackles, led the team with also 1 sack. Then you had the linebacker, number 59, Carter, who had 4 tackles and 1 sack. Number 51, Trackrell, or whatever the hell his name is, I don't give a shit. 4 tackles for 1 sack, and also B.J. Hill, the defensive lineman, with 4 tackles and 1 sack. So they was also at Mitchell Trubisky here. It was more than a few times that Trubisky could have just got the ball out quickly, but instead he's trying to hold the ball and wait for a deeper route down the field, and when he could have just threw to underneath routes a few times, and that resulted in basically coverage sacks, which he cannot do. But hey, it's still a learning process. He still needs to get it together though. Trubisky, he was 18 of 28 for 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks yet again. 1 pick he threw was just shouldn't have threw that. Allen Robinson still can't allow the man just to run through him. You are 6'3", like 220, pushed through that, but still shouldn't have been thrown. The second pick also was thrown to Allen Robinson. That was okay thrown ball in my perspective. Me personally felt like Robinson should have came down with that ball. He didn't. The corner had the presence in mind to to snatch it and rake through his arms and ended up with the pick. That was a good play on his summary. He played excellent, even come back from that head neck injury that he suffered early in the first half. I thought he was done. I thought the man and had a herniated disc in his damn neck in his C6 or C7. That's in the back of your neck at the beginning, but I just thought that man was just done for, or at least suffered a concussion. But the man came back and still just drove the ball down the field at the end of the game. Even though the kicker, Santo, didn't make the fucking field goal, but he still played excellent. 16 carries for 82 yards. That was 5.1 yards per carry. He also had 3 receptions for 46 yards and that excellent touchdown in the first half. So he played excellent. The rookie Mooney, he had 3 receptions for 35 yards, but he did catch that spectacular touchdown in the end zone towards the end of the first half, which made, I know, every Bears fan, Giants fan, think that the Bears are just going to blow them out completely, like they was going to put up 34 on their ass, but didn't turn out that way. The Bears offense just faltered in the second half, left the defense on the field basically majority of the second half, and that's how they got tired, and that allowed the Giants to come back and almost win the game. And going back to Allen Robinson, he only had 3 receptions, 33 yards. I expected more from him in this game, especially going against the Giants. But hey, you do have your good days and your bad days, and he is still the #1 receiver. And Bears pay that damn man still, regardless of the performance that he had to that defense. Eddie Jackson and Roquan Smith led the team with 8 tackles. Eddie Jackson made a lot of just good pass deflections during the game. Got the pass deflection at the end of the game from Golden Tate, even though Golden Tate did the offensive pass interference on Buster Strain at the end of the game, trying to just do whatever he can to get that score. Hey, I get it, but didn't work out. Also, the entire Bears defensive line, everybody got a sack. Khalil Mack 3 tackles, a sack. Robert Quinn, he only made 1 big play, and that was that one sack strip fumble at the beginning of the game. 1 tackle, 1 sack. He almost got one later on Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones was able to flip the ball out to Dion Lewis, which came out to be a positive play for them. Then you had Mingo, who had 2 tackles and a sack, and also Akeem Hicks, who just powered through and just ran over everybody and just even ran through the quarterback, Daniel Jones, and got his sack. He had 3 tackles and a sack. The Bears basically looked good defensively. They looked way better defensively despite getting tired in this game. Towards the end of the game, they looked excellent during the entire game. And I'm looking to see more from this team, especially offensively. Yeah, they look good in the beginning, but once you go against those teams that have basically prolific offenses, the team's going to have to score because the defense is not going to be able to stop them all the time. Now, it's going to be games where the defense is going to look unstoppable, and it's going to be games where the defense just looks straight up ordinary. This time, the defense basically looked excellent. They was firing off the ball defensively. Defensive line was constantly just wreaking havoc on Daniel Jones. Yes, the offensive line is not the best offensive line in terms of pass protection, and they not even looking that good this year in terms of running the football. But when you go against better teams like the Falcons, who has a way better offense that they're going to be playing next week, you have to make those plays. I did predict the Bears to win 24-17. It turned out to be a 13-17 game. Hopefully the Bears to just get it together and make those plays next week. But the Bears is 2-0. Like I said, if you listen to my podcast and everything else, I said the first 5 games of the schedule, the Bears can easily go 5-0. Easily. Their toughest test of all the teams, to me personally, is the Colts and the Falcons. They play the Falcons the next week. I believe the Bears can still get that victory. Just the defense is going to have to lock in more, especially their offense. They definitely going to have to play a lot better. But go Bears, and next week I'll be coming out with a prediction video of what I think is going to happen. And then let's see what's going to happen. All right, people, this is John Epiphany with another sports reaction. Go Bears.